Vaidya Sukumar Sardeshmukh sir contributes to Ayurveda are not only confined to his clinical and research endeavors, but also profound social impact. He has organized free medical camps, cancer awareness programs, and provided relief in drought-stricken areas. During the COVID-19 pandemic, he played a crucial role in distributing Ayurvedic immunity kits and support to various communities. In recognition of his outstanding work, Vaidya Sukumar Sardeshmukh sir has received numerous awards, including an International Ayurveda Youth Icon Award 2023, the Maharshi Anna Saheb Patwardhan Vaidyakiya Puraskar 2023, and multiple icons of health awards from major media outlets such as the Times of India and Maharashtra Times. Dr. Sadanand Sardeshmukh's son, Dr. Sukumar Sardeshmukh sir, also deeply involved in educational and research initiatives, serving as trustee of Bharatiya Sanskriti Darshan Trust, Ayurved Mahavidyalay, president of NASYA, Maharashtra, and vice president of Ayurvedic Mahasammelan. His role is advancing Ayurvedic pharmaceuticals, and his administrative positions at various Ayurvedic institutions underscores his commitment to the field. Now, I would like to request everyone, please have a big round of applause and welcome Vaidya Sukumar Sardeshmukh sir.
Bruhatray Ratna, Nanal sir, Vilas Nanal sir, he was a beloved guru, a very close relationship with my father, Dr. Sadanand Sardeshmukh sir. The whole family has a very close relationship with our institute. I have seen him from my childhood days, and I am thankful to the young generation of the Nanal family for involving me or inviting me to share whatever the small experience I have that Ayurveda can do globally in the global market. What are the opportunities? I am happy to share at the age of 40, I have traveled 40 countries especially for Ayurveda and Nadi Pariksha. At the same time, we have been one of the Institute for Center of Excellence under the Ayush Ministry for Cancer. So we have been also doing a lot of cancer research work with various countries and medical institutes in different parts of the world. Before starting the lecture, first I would like to, I don't want to do a proper presentation, I just want to more interact with the students. That there is always a question many people ask, that what are the opportunities abroad? Can Ayurveda be practiced in different countries? So it's always very exciting. It's been an experience for me from last 12-13 years traveling abroad. And frankly speaking, one of the reasons which made me ignite of going abroad was when I was in my 10th standard. One of my aunt called my mother and said that, you know, my son is traveling to further studies to USA. And everybody in the family was so happy. And usually in engineering background or faculty, they usually for the MS and other studies, they go abroad. Then I was thinking, why Ayurveda students cannot go abroad? Decided to go into the Ayurveda field. I thought, why Ayurveda, has it got opportunities abroad? What is the acceptance abroad? And I'll tell you frankly, after 13 to 14 years traveling abroad, there is a huge demand. And the huge demand lies in many sectors in Ayurveda. There are different sectors in Ayurveda. So today I just want to interact with you and tell you my experience, which I have been gathered from last 13-14 years traveling abroad for Ayurveda, and it is only possible due to Ayurveda. So just believe in your science. Your science is like for you the main asset that will take you on the international globe in the future. Many of you, I have been told, they are UG students. Some of you are PG students. So especially for the Vaidyas, there is a huge demand. But we should know the challenges There are different tools, there are different solutions to overcome these international challenges. So, going to the part, basically there is a big need of practicing Ayurveda globally. The slide. Yeah. So according to me, the most important thing, a good Vaidya can be a good entrepreneur. A good Vaidya can be a good businessman. And this is what is the new need of the international market. I will tell you in the, after going to the presentation, that why this quote has been given. So what is the current scenarios? Our Ayurvedic Vaidyas, when they travel abroad, what is the acceptance? What they can practice as? They can practice currently as health and nutritional advisors. You are not called as a medical practitioner abroad. Second, you are being accepted as Ayurvedic mental and lifestyle coaches. Third, Panchakarma and massage therapist. Fourth, alternative practitioners or doctors. Fifth is Ayurvedic academic teachers. So this is a main acceptance of Ayurvedic Vaidyas and Ayurvedic students abroad. So about 70% of them work on self-employment basis. For example, there are many students from this institute and different institute coming from having an experience of our institute, college in Vagoli. We have many students who are already practicing abroad, who are many, what we say, ladies who have got married and they have settled in abroad and they are practicing Ayurveda, but on the personal basis. So they can have their own personal clinics or therapy centers which are legalized, but they have to practice under a registered medical practitioner in that country, either under him or with him. You are allowed to do external treatments. Internal treatments, you need to work with a registered medical practitioner. If you want to work as a nutritionist, if you want to work as a, what we say, Ahar counseling person, it's more easy to directly interact and you can suggest them what to eat, what to not. So that is allowed in the international market. But at the same time, you can be employed on different institutes. How many of you know that Ayurveda is already under the alternative medicine system in many parts of the world? Anybody knows it? Any country?
You can raise your hands.
Any country that you know that it is under the alternative medical system of medicine? You can go and practice, but as a counseling or as a consultant under a medicinal practitioner. There is enormous, recently I'll give you an example. Switzerland is one country that is accepting Ayurveda under the EU, that is the European Union, for Ayurveda taking it under the alternative medicine system. They have approved 48 herbs and they have taken it under the European Pharmacopoeia. So now you can prescribe these herbs officially as a Ayurveda Vaidya in Switzerland. So if you want to enter the European market, Switzerland is one of the safest and is one of the, we can say, easiest way to enter as a Ayurvedic Vaidya in the European Union. Second, the most important is Germany. Germany has got one term which is called as heel practitioner. Heal practitioner means health practitioner. So you have to give an exam of this Heal practitioner, which is in German language, and many students from Pune, I know, who have settled in Germany, have passed this exam, and they are officially Heal practitioners in Germany. So they are allowed to counsel and consult the patients one by one, one-on-one. So there are enormous opportunities, but we have to see every country has its own legalized rules and regulations that we have to follow. I was saying to you just now about Germany. They can open their own centers, or they can be under a supervision of a medical practitioner. So what are the countries? Brazil is one of the things which is upcoming, like anything, Latin America. It's a hot selling cake for Ayurveda recently. If you can enter the Latin American countries, Brazil is the one which has been accepting Ayurveda very, very, very easily. There are, you know, an therapist in Brazil can administer basti. They are allowed to administer basti under a therapist course, or who has completed their therapist course. But the Panchakarma is only be done under the medical supervision, who is a registered medical doctor in Brazil. I'll give you an example. You can write the name. The name is Dr. Jos Ruge. He is also associated with DPU, and he has a very big center in Brazil, in Uberlandia. He has a big ashram which is totally filled with Panchakarma patients. At one time, there are 25 to 26 patients who are admitted in his hospital for only pure Ayurvedic Panchakarma. So it is possible. Brazil is one of the biggest market for Ayurveda Vaidyas, practitioners in the upcoming years. How to reach them? There is always a question from students. Sir, you are telling us, okay, this is possible, but how to reach? How we can find a person who can help us to invite in that countries? I'll tell you a story of one of our students. I think Parvez must be knowing him also. He is a pass out from our college in Wagholi. His name is Vaidya Gaurav Dave. I'll tell you his story. He was very passionate about going to abroad and doing practice in abroad. So when he was studying, he was asking me, sir, you're going abroad. I want to go to different countries, especially in Latin America. So I said there are 3 challenges that an Ayurvedic Vaidya should improve himself as a Vaidya when he represents Ayurveda internationally. So the one is knowledge. Our knowledge should be, the base should be like a rock. There should be no loopholes in our knowledge when we are internationally standing in front of the people and delivering anything on the international levels. Second is the communication. If you are going to that specific country, you should know the language of that specific country. So you should learn the language of that specific country. And third is how you present yourself. The presentation is very important when you are internationally going to be giving or seeing the patients as an Ayurvedic Vaidya. So I was talking about this student, Gaurav Dave. He learned the Spanish, the Portuguese language, and then he asked me, how can I connect with the people who can invite me for doing pulse diagnosis, Prakriti Parikshan, Ahar Parikshan in Latin America. So I told him that nowadays, social media, artificial intelligence is the tool for that. You have to create your own profile, which is and proper authentic profile without any false or fake claims. Second, you have to be technological upgraded. You have to talk to the people who are specially of that countries, interacting with them, talking with them, communicating with them. There are enormous groups on Instagram and Facebook who really want a good Ayurvedic Vaidya from India. He did that for 3 years. And now he is traveling from last 5 years. In Brazil, he goes for 2 months of tour. The whole Brazil, he is invited in more than 14 cities. And he is also now going to Portugal because there is also the language is Portuguese. So now he is an example that how a student or a Vaidya, after graduating from UG, PG, whatever, wanted to go abroad and practice Ayurveda. Now there is one more important thing that you have to understand. What is the best part if you go abroad? What is the best advantage if you go abroad? Any one of you? If you go abroad to any country, what will be the best advantage for yourself as an Ayurvedic Vaidya? That is one thing that the best you will be, you as a brand will be forecasted in front of them. Second, the booming industry, sorry, my entrepreneur always comes, immediately jumps in when I talk like this. So the booming industry, the forthcoming industry is medical tourism. Understand there is $1 billion of demand been generated in the medical tourism industry. South India has been a key player in getting the international people for medical tourism for Ayurveda and Panchakarma. We have to accept that. They have made their own brand, they have made their own markets. But when we visit as a Vaidya, it creates for us an opportunity to take that people, to give them that trust that this is an authentic Ayurvedic Vaidya who will take care of you in our country when you come for Panchakarma. So this is biggest advantage for you, especially. I'll give you an example. We have a Panchakarma hospital in Vagoli. My father has been traveling to Japan. I have been traveling to Japan for many years. At this point of time, today itself, at this date, we have 22 patients from Japan who are admitted in our Panchakarma hospital. This is what I want, not only for why I am sharing this with you, because everybody should do like this. This is what is my wish, that Ayurveda should be taken globally in a very different way. Because we miss that science, the presentation and the glamour, we are always looked upon as an alternative system. I think we should not do that. We should improve ourselves. So, internationally if you go as a Vaidya, this is the biggest advantage, is the medical tourism. The second biggest advantage, can anybody tell? Many of you must be doing it. Your teachers are doing it. Your principal of DPU is doing it. Education. Online and offline courses with international students. That is one of the best things that a personal, means only individual Ayurvedic Vaidya can do. I am going to come to that point. Are you aware that you can start certificate courses on your own after the BMS degree? Are you aware? No. Are you aware that if you tie up with any of the institutes like DPU, who is a deemed university, or Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapeeth, or MEHS, there are different courses that have been accepted internationally. The course fee for a 7 days course of, I'm talking about only 7 days course. It's a short-term course. A 7 days course on Ayurvedic dietetics and nutrition or Ahara is around $600. In that 7 days, 4 to 5 hours you have to teach. Imagine the market. It's online, I'm talking about online course at the first time. $600 are being charged. You can see any of them. You can see Maharshi Ayurveda, you can see Rosenberg Ayurveda Institute in Europe, anybody. Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Institute, Patanjali, everybody is doing it. Because that is one thing that as a BMS doctor, you can sit at your home and do this. But we don't know the opportunity. Second is offline course. Offline means taking the students here or you either going there and teaching them. It is legally allowed. You are sharing the knowledge. You yourself can give a certificate because this is a certificate course as an attendant for attending this 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, whatever the days duration of course. You can give them a certificate of your clinic logo. Do you know that? If you are accompanied or accredited to any university or institute, you can do a diploma course. We are proud that after so many years of cancer work, now MEHS, the Maharashtra University of Health Sciences, has accredited our institute for, they are allowed us for the first time in India for fellowship course in integrative oncology. So, integrative oncology will be the first time course that has been designed in India and accredited as a fellowship course by any university to any institute in India, and the first batch, I am proud to say that, will be taught international students. So we have already collected 15 doctors from Brazil who will be doing this integrative oncology course. So it's an online course, it's a 1 year course, and the last 1 month they have to come to cancer hospital for the internship. So it is possible. So let us go towards the next factors what we can do. Any one of you have traveled abroad for Ayurveda? Any opportunities? There are many opportunities. You know, Ayush department helps for the subsidies. You know that? If you form your own pharmacy, a GMP pharmacy, and if you want to take your products abroad for any expo internationally, you get a reimbursement till 4 lakh rupees from the Ministry of Ayush. Nobody knows that. If you go in Asian countries, you are been given 2 lakh rupees from the Ayush Ministry. A Vaidya has to explore. There are international globe is the massive, it's a massive game. It's an ocean, and luckily we are at this generation that the demand has started now, especially after the COVID. So we have to pick immediately. So what are the huge opportunities abroad? Academics, research, counseling as a practice, products, agriculture and skill development. How many of you have agricultural lands? Wow, many of you. You are growing sugarcane, wheat, jawar, bajri. There is a huge demand for Ayurvedic raw materials. I can give you direct connects with the importers of these raw materials. The only challenge and the confirmation they want from you is standardization reports. There is a massive demand for raw material. So academics, as I said, on the personal level, you can do online, offline courses. But when you do personal certificate courses, they are only for knowledge sharing. They cannot use it in their country for any practice or any consultations. If you are tied up with institute, university or government level, the most important is they have got credit points. 100% authenticity and acceptance, and these certifications can be accepted by their government. So you can have these people in their country can have an extra degree for that. Research is one of the most important thing. I would request and suggest all my friends sitting here, please try, not only because you have been learning MD or you are going to do MD, that please try to publish research papers and understand why it is important. Because of, I'll give you an example. There was a JAMA report, Journal of American Medicine Association. So this JAMA report said that Ayurvedic medicines have got heavy metals and they are not safe, they are toxic. Internationally, it made a very big boom. Ayurvedic medicines or drugs are not safe for the kidneys, are not safe for the liver because they are having mercury. This was the biggest challenge that we faced internationally, as a Vaidya also. So what we have to do, we have to start and tell them in their language, according to their protocols, that the medicine which I am using, the Suvarna Suchekar which I am using, the Rasa Sindur which I am using is according to the standardization and limits of heavy metals. The research papers of yourself has to be published. Start doing that. It is a very big important when you go abroad and say, I've got 2 research, I'll give you enormous examples. There is Vaidya Yogesh Tillu, if you know, I don't know anybody of you, he is a very famous researcher in Ayurveda on the international level. He has published many research papers and internationally he has been invited by the US Ministry and the Traditional Medical Science Department of US for presentation for Ayurveda. Because he had that vision and mission to take Ayurveda on an international level by publishing the research work. This is very important. If you have your research papers, you yourself can take your profile from 10 points to 25 points. People will look at you in a different way. Even for getting jobs in government jobs in Ayush Ministry today, All India Institute of Ayurveda, if you want to be, you know there are Ayush chairs abroad. The Ayush Ministry has got chairs abroad. The recent example I will give you, Dr. Asmita Velle from this institute was a Ayush chair in the Hungary. So Hungary, there is an Ayush chair in the Debrecen Medical University, the biggest university in Hungary. And she was the Ayush chair because her background mainly consisted of the research papers and research made by her. So I would request and suggest you as my friends that please start to make your own research papers, usually in the peer-reviewed journals, which has got an international value. So there are different career opportunities, Ayush chairs, which I told you, open access. So this is just an example that if you go on Google and search Sukumar Sardeshmukh research papers, you get these research papers. I don't need to tell anyone in US that I have done this research. He can just go on Google and search what research I have done or what research published I have published on peer-reviewed international journals or national journals. The most important is counseling. You can go in any country in the world and you can do counseling, but you cannot use the word consulting. There is a big difference. You can do consulting when there is any medical doctor with you in that room, then you can say it is consulting. And there was a legal problem with one of my friends who posted on the Facebook doing Nadi Pariksha in one country which was not allowed, and his passport would have been confiscated. So always understand the rules and regulations. You can do counseling wherever you want, but you cannot do consulting. There is a big difference. Can Ayurvedic herbal products be exported? Anybody of you who want to have their own product line? Anybody of you who dream in the future to have the product line, to export? There's a huge business, billions of dollars of business. One student rose his hand immediately, that means he's really passionate about it. I liked about him. There's a huge business. You can export, you know, in Germany, आपली खडी साखर असते ना, खडी शक्कर. It's been sold as Sharkara by a company called Cosmoveda at 9 euros, 90 rupees into 9, 150 grams of khadi shakkar. It's been imported from India, packed in Germany, sold in Germany under the EU tag. So if you really want to export, you can export under two things legally. Easy. One is food supplements. So tomorrow if you want to have Guduchi capsule exported under, for example, name of Dr. Parvez Bhagwan, he can export it but under food supplement. The person can import it under food supplement. If you want to export liquids, especially oils, which is a huge demand because the demand for therapists have increased all over the world, you can export it and they can import it under cosmetics because this is only for external use. We have been exporting in 13 countries from last 7 to 8 years, and Europe is one of the main, Japan is one of the main, Canada is one of the main. So you can export your own oils. Hair oil, cosmetology is one of the biggest thing which is coming up, skincare. So you can make your own brands and export it under they can import it under cosmetic. Now, if you want to export under drug, then there is a big question mark. They cannot import it as a drug, or they cannot register it as a drug, because many of the countries still doesn't have Ayurvedic herbs under their pharmacopoeia. So what is the base for registering them under the drug? So the base, if they want to register under the drug, the main is your research papers in the international journals. You would be surprised, from last 3.5 years, I am striving, which was my dream, to treat cancer patients internationally, giving them Suvarna Kalpa, which was not been accepted by any of the country. So for last 3 years, we tried all the ways that we can do. Luckily, by God's grace, we got in contact with the St. Petersburg University of Oncology, which is one of the biggest university in Russia, with 1,500 beds, hospital for cancer. They have 13 rooms, operative rooms, and the director came to Pune. He saw the patients, we gave him the clinical trials, all the toxicological studies for the Suvarna Kalpa which we are using in cancer patients. Now that institute can officially import it under drug. And now we have signed a MOU for these drugs to be given for the patients who are taking chemotherapy. So the chemotherapy, the chemo cycles which are given for the patients, we are having a pilot study for them with Ayurvedic drugs to reduce the toxicity and side effects of chemotherapy. So I think this can be possible. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of money to register any drug, at least at this point of time, internationally. So as I said, the challenges is accreditation authorities, standardization, clinical trials, logistics, and genuine buyers. You should know if the buyer is genuine or not. One of my person who is a Japanese by importer, who is a Japanese by his residency, now 6 months in India, you would not believe that he is importing henna, mehendi. He's been importing 13 tons of henna per year. That is 13,000 kgs of henna, stone grounded henna from Rajasthan. It's been imported. And we know everybody know as a herb called as nili, that is indigo, which is made for denims. It's also good for the hair as a natural color. He's importing 10 tons of indigo in Japan. It's a huge market. And this can be possible. You should know the exact buyer. As I told you, you have to find. There are different sources that you can find a natural buyer or natural person who can invite you as a Vaidya abroad. There are different opportunities and conclaves or symposiums which are happening abroad, which has got a value, which will help to connect to people. Agriculture, which are the main, we have been imported, which we are also exporting from last many years. So these are the raw materials which we are exporting. We are not exporting extracts, but extracts is one of the biggest demand in the international market. Drug discovery is one of the thing. Nanotechnology is one of the thing. Rasashastra, MD Rasashastras are in big demand. MD Dravyaguna are in big demand. MD Panchakarma are in big demand in European countries and US. US, I think California has been, they are legalizing Ayurveda under the alternative medicine. So in California, you can go and you can practice as an Ayurvedic Vaidya. But there are some limitations. Dr. Vasant Lad, one of the legend in Ayurveda, he is in the North America. He has got his own school of Ayurveda. He also comes to Pune. Manjri has got a very big center, and there are around 40 to 50 students from US who travel extensively only for his courses in India and abroad every year. Medical writing, there is a Charak writing, we all know there is going on in US now. So everybody is taking our brains and they are doing different classical textbooks writings. Again, in Japan, they have already converted or translated Sutrastan, Nidanstan of different Samhitas in Japanese language. So there is an extensive work and scope. They invited 3 Ayurvedic Vaidyas from India who will help them. For the, so these are, why I'm telling you this example, because out of the 3 Vaidyas, all of them are Samhita people. They are MD Samhita. And they have been paid 2 lakh rupees per month. They have to online sit for 4 hours, talk with them, explain them the sutras, convert it, they will translate it. 2 lakh rupees per month. There is a school in Japan which is called as Nippon Ayurveda School. Dr. U.K. Krishna, who is again a legend in Ayurveda, he has been doing it under his leadership. So these are the facts that have been there, which we don't know, because that's why I'm here. I've been invited by these people for sharing this experience with you. Skill Ministry of India. I was invited last week by Vaidya Dev Pujari. He is the chairman of National Commission of India, Council of India. So they have tied up with the Skill Council of India. You know, under the skill development, as a Vaidya also, if you get an accreditation from the Skill Council of India, you can start your own courses for therapist, Panchakarma therapist, and also for nutritionist and pharmacist. There are already courses. If you go on the Skill Council web portal, you will see that the Ayush Ministry has done a tie-up with the chairman is Vaidya Dev Pujari sir. They have done a tie-up for skill development courses. So as we know that in our clinics who have been practicing Panchakarma, usually the therapists are from South India. Because Kerala is one state, the government has got 3 years extensive diploma course for therapist. But we can start now our own with the Skill Council. So please, anybody of you who really want to start their own courses in paramedical things, Skill Council is the best. You don't need to go to any ministry, or you don't need to go to, means not the medical ministry, you don't need to go to any institute, you don't need to go to any university. You can directly get the accreditation from the Skill Council of India, and nationally you get a certificate with the emblem of the Skill Council, which is the Government of India accredited institute, and you can start your own courses on paramedics. And therapists are in huge demand. I was in Slovenia. Slovenia is one country which is already allowing Ayurveda under the alternative medicine. And Slovenia is coming up with Ayush, lot of hospitals also supported by the government of Slovenia. So they have a tie-up and they need Vaidyas. Anybody of you interested, I can give you the contact. You can connect the right person and you can work there for 2 years. You have to work there for 2 years, that is the bond, as a Panchakarma Ayurved Vaidya in Slovenia, in Bratislava. So there are tremendous opportunities. So thank you. I think this is what I can share on a...
Yes, any one of you have questions?
Any questions?
You can raise your hands if you have a questions.
Thank you, sir. My question is, can you throw some light on being an Ayurvedic professor in US or any other country?
Being an academic professor and you want to do anything abroad?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a very good question. Being an academic professor in academics, you have enormous opportunities. You can sit, ma'am. As I said, one, you can be a faculty member on different institutes in US. For example, I am giving you US. I'll give you one name. For example, Minnesota Institute of Ayurveda. Minnesota is a one place in US. So they have got an Institute of Ayurveda. The director of this institute is a Indian based person, Indian born person who has now been there in US from last 30 years. They want, or these institutes want, really good academicians as faculty from Pune, Mumbai, Maharashtra specifically, because they are from Pune. I'll give you an example. They have faculty from Pune. There is Gansham Marda, Vaidya Marda sir, who is there as a faculty with them. And there are, in one batch, they have got 40 to 50 students of US and they have been accredited and having a course with Minnesota University also. So they want, as an academician, they want good academicians to be their faculties. So as an academician or a professor in any colleges, you can do also courses online. As I said, there's a good example which I gave, Dr. Guruvanti Evla, the principal of this DPU. His wife and him, they are already doing it. They are having personal visitors from different countries who come and learn with them. There are different Vaidyas in Pune, Mumbai, Maharashtra, all over India who have been doing this. You can also do, as you said, you can give your certificate yourself, you can do a certificate course because you are a Vaidya. Another, you can collaborate with different institutes as a faculty member. And third, online and offline courses. So you can also get an accreditation. For example, if you have good connects, you can get an accreditation with some university like Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapit or DPU or Bharati Vidyapit or any MUHS, and you can start these courses also. They are in big demand. So this is what an academician can do from India. He wants to do anything abroad.
Yes, any more questions?
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Manali. My question is, my uncle, he's from Canada, and he has done his MS in orthopedics. So
He has done his?
MS in orthopedics.
Okay.
So in their hospital, they are conducting some trials on joint disorders with integrative approach of modern as well as Ayurvedic. So they are giving Ayurvedic medicines like Triphala and etc. as well as local treatments like Snehan Svedan, Panchakarma along with modern medicines. So such trials are going on. Can you throw some light on such trials and the opportunities?
So you are doing your UG or PG?
I am doing UG, final year student.
So after final year, you can directly join him. There is a big opportunity because he is an MS orthopedic. He is already a resident and has got a license as a medical practitioner in that country. So you can go with him and see the Ayurvedic part. So you can do portal, you can tell them that you can see the patients also. According to the Ayurvedic diagnosis, you can tell it is a Sandhivat, Amavat, whatever it is. You are allowed to do that. Then, but I would recommend you one thing. As a Vaidya, when you start doing things, start to have a pilot study. And start to gather this data and publish it. That will take you and the institute, which is working the hospital, on a very different level. The Canadians will accept you like anything. Because integration is the future. Allopathy medicine, Ayurveda medicine, homeopathy medicine. Every science has got its pros and cons. We want to take the pros together. And integration is the demand in the future. That's why they need Ayurvedic students and Vaidyas. So I think if he is doing it, it's the best thing. You should join it and you should ask him that he can start courses on orthopedic in Ayurveda. So that students can come from here as an intern for 1 month. I think you can get good accreditation from universities also. Because you have a hospital and an MS doctor who is there of Canada who wants Ayurveda to be part of the healing system.
Namaste, sir.
Yes.
I'm Vaishnavi. Sir, my query is, if I want to create my own brand, how to do it, sir? What all you need to do it?
Pardon me, what you?
I want to create my own brand of pharmacy kind of thing.
Right.
So how to do it, sir?
So you want to create your own brand in the pharmaceutical sector, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So just get to know what are the basic needs that you want to achieve.
Okay. Okay.
First, if you want to start with a pharmacy or any product manufacturing, there are two ways. One, you can loan license it. Loan license means somebody who is manufacturing and has got a GMP license. For example, in Pune, there are many people. There is Gopal Verma sir from Everest Pharma who is very specialized in it. So you can directly approach him and say, I want this product line according to these standards. You can get it. It is called as white labeling. White labeling means the brand name will be yours, but manufactured by him. For example, lately, why I want to give you this example, lately, we have collaborated with Chitale Bandhu Mithai Wale. We all know Chitale Bandhu. So Chitale Bandhu is also coming towards Ayurveda now. They are specifically coming towards nutrition. And Indranil Chitale, one of their partners, we have made a MOU recently, 1.5 years ago. So we are taking a concept of Ayurveda, like a bone vita, into the market, which will be soon, in next 2 months, will be launching in the market. So the manufacture is done by my company, which is Atharva Nature Healthcare. The curation is done by us, but the brand will be Chitale Bandhu. So this is one loan licensing, and second, you can have your own brand, so you have to have a setup. So according to the GMP, goods manufacturing practices, then you can take official, you can take a permission for exports. You need a different permission for exports. So that's why the label has product sale in India and sale for abroad. So if you take that, then online is one of the best. You can brand yourself and connect to people and try to see. People, everybody wants their own finished products under their name. People usually don't want your brand to be marketed by them abroad. So try to see the genuine buyers by online. Go to different buyer-seller meets abroad. There are so many meets by Pharmexil and many people. By government authorities, Ayush Ministry, World Ayurveda Congress is one of the main thing that you can have a buyer-seller meet. It's recently coming in December in, I think, Dehradun. I am a part of the International Assembly. So if you want to come, there are many international people who really want to have good Vaidyas who are manufacturing.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a great session. I request everyone to please have a big round of applause for sir. Over to you, Sanjana.
Thank you so much, sir, for throwing so much light on the various opportunities present for UG and PG students. I call upon Vaidya Aisha Anil ma'am on stage to felicitate sir.
By the way, Aisha and I have done MBA together. After the BMS, we did MBA in pharmaceuticals, which was a different passion which we both had, because she has her brand of products and she's been also having a good sale for that, and a very good friend for many years. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. We also are their authorized stockist for her products in our center in Ayurvedayan Baner. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patient listening, and any questions we can meet afterwards. Thank you very much.
Sir.
Jai Ayurved.